Your future depends on the 3 hours performance that you actually give on paper in the examination hall. It's always better to do some written practice along with your reading process. See, it might happen with you during the paper that you feel yourself overstuffed with knowledge about a given question but struggle to find the right words to express them. Or it might happen that you are clueless about how to start your answer. All this is a result of knowledge and practice, and it may prove disastrous at end. So I will advise you all to make it a habit to write for at least 1 to 1.5 hours continuously daily for not less than 45 to 60 days before the start of papers, as this will help you a lot. The additional aspect of this written practice should be that in your initial days you must write about something that you have prepared in the whole day. For example, if you have gone through 10 questions of Indo-Pak history today, ask your friend to randomly give you a topic and you start writing about it. During the next phase, it should be so that if you have prepared 10 questions today, write in 1 hour a gist of all these events in a chronological order. It is very significant that you are able to make connections between different events and draw allusions from different sources, as they will add real spice to your answer. So while you are undergoing the written practice, try to inculcate this habit into your expression. Remember, your performance is in a proper overwhelming relies on good expression. So the refiner you expression is the better chance you have to acquire maximum benefit from the examiner. While answering a question, the most significant thing to keep in your mind is to communicate your viewpoint strongly through convincing argument using lucid language. Let's have a look at the 10 steps that will surely help you answer the question in a way that convinces the examiner. This is what you have to do well before you actually sit in the examination hall. Many candidates fail because they could not defeat their fears. That makes your target difficult and formidable. Know yourself and control your emotions. All CSS candidates are more or less of same intellect. However, calmer and more rational individuals get through. You can also be one of those few if you take into consideration 2 basic things. Accept the reality and look ahead and find the solutions. For instance, you are not a good memorizer. You cannot write well. Sitting too long is difficult for you. You have some problems in finishing your answer properly. A sudden emotional setback or some tragedy has overwhelmed you, and so on. Many such issues can be challenged for you, but to accept this challenge and overcome it is the real key to success. Do not shy away from your weaknesses and unfavorable circumstances. Unfold and rectify them. Time management is a skill and you need to attain it. Time is a very crucial, especially when you are sitting in examination hall. You have 2 hours and 30 minutes to attempt 4 questions. That is 37 minutes per question. Unless you have developed the habit of finishing your answer within 30 minutes and have practiced it well before the examination, you will start feeling the pressure as soon as you get the question paper. Remember, time should be managed in such a way that you ward off unwanted pressure that can destroy your efforts and can let you down. It is absolutely self-destructive to read the first question and start writing the answer offhand. Give at least 3 readings to the question paper. First reading is just a cursory, and in second reading decide which question you can answer the best. In third reading mark those questions and be sure about them. Do brainstorming and make outlines of questions you are going to attempt. This can be done while the third reading. This saves your time and makes your written expression eloquent. Brainstorming clarifies that for which question you have ample material. Outline will make it clear that how to answer and how much to answer, and your writing will be more coherent and fluent. Generally, candidates attempt the best question first and the weakest question in end. This is a passive approach. All questions must be preferably given equal time, while the weak one should be given due importance, as giving up on your 20 marks is not a wise choice. Always give proper beginning to your answer. The starting point must be the introduction of your question. Give a comprehensive introduction. Remember, background or history is a different thing. Opening sentence must be a topic sentence. Talk expansively about the topic, and in the end give thesis statement. You can certainly begin with quotation or references, but it must be relevant to the statement. Or headings should be elaborate. Avoid one-word headings to facilitate the examiner. When quoting, use proper quotations and mention the reference to. In Islamic studies paper, while quotation from the Holy Quran and the Ahadith, don't ever quote without proper reference. Give maximum quotations to support your argument. Also give facts and figures with references. Vague, untrue and bogus figures must be avoided. Reference of any official document can be given from which figure has been quoted. Draw diagrams or maps wherever they are parts of the answer. As in Geography 1, diagram elucidate answer, and in Geography 2, maps are drawn to elaborate the answer. Build answer with a strong arguments, pragmatic and logical opinion containing statistics, references, socio-political, religious and economic factors, and domestic and international aspects should be covered. Always avoid sweeping statements, biased views and planted answers. Try to make a separate heading of analysis and give very comprehensive and to the point remarks. Conclusion must be as strong as introduction was. Recapitulate all the ideas that you discussed and finish answer strongly. Analysis and conclusions could be brought under the single heading such as final comments or concluding ideas or ending remarks or suggestive notes. Your answer remains incomplete without conclusion, so never ignore it. Write relevant. Overcome your weaknesses, manage your time well and control your emotions. It is totally an absurd idea. It is totally an absurd idea that CSS exam is a game of chance or a matter of luck. Work hard consistently, think positively, stay focused, prepare scientifically and leave rest to the Almighty. Enhance your knowledge base. Your expression should be convincing and logical. You should practice 6 hours writing on the pattern of real exam so that you do not fail. Solving paper of CSS exam does not require ordinary techniques that one used to apply in schools and university. While you are going to ink the answer sheet sitting in CSS exam, you must understand 2 things. That are, what is being asked and what would be the proper answer. I think there are some of the general tips needed for better performance in the written portion of the CSS exam. Here is the simplified scheme to solve any paper, just like Islamic studies is also included. Islamic studies is also included. You have only first 10 minutes to select the question with rough idea. When you have selected the questions, except compulsory, find out those 4 questions which can be best answered by you. Time for each question is almost 35 to 37 minutes. The length of the answer should be 6 to 8 pages. Mark the most prepared question with more relevant material. Remember that you do not have to beat about bush. Read the sequence of the things asked in questions and answer all the keywords one by one. As it is highly important to write relevant material, therefore underline the main points of the question. Deeply analyze what the question is demanding. It is about to write reason, effect, solutions, your opinion, or simply the information about the topic. Opening of an answer may be: write a short outline describing the main points with reading in 7 to 8 minutes. Write an opening paragraph while answering the main points of the question. This is called the exact and direct technique. Then develop each paragraph describing the relevant material. Use of language should be convincing, concise, and correct. Your answer should include facts and figures, arguments, examples, references, and quotations. Try to use different modes for attempting questions. Avoid typical style from introduction to conclusion. Conclusions must contain repetition of main points. Always use blue ink pen and keep ink remover with you so you have one chance to undo to what you did. Remove all cuttings that give bad impressions. Only blue, black pen and pencil is allowed in examination hall, and strict instructions are given in the first page of answer sheet about using of colored pen. Both MCQ sheet and answer sheet is given at the same time, so it's better to do MCQs quick in order to save time for the last questions which you will attempt in the end of the paper. Do not use generic and journalistic term for every subject. Rather use specialized terminologies of the same subject. Most importantly, we do not focus on expressions while attempting question, which is a must for a good score. Tomorrow is too late. Yesterday is over and now is exactly the right moment. So start. Those who decide early in life after intermediate that they want to become officers to serve the nation and people. Most students got inspired by famous civil servants or by their own family members at this teenage. So here are some tips for them. First one, improve your English grammar and English writing skills. Consult good books on grammar. Read at least 2 recommended books of important compulsory subjects like current affairs, Pakistan affairs, and Islamic studies. Read one national newspaper, Dawn newspaper. Students are advised to read the editorial and opinion sections and learn how to argument takes place and how arguments are built up. Note down difficult words on a register. Use dictionary most of the time. Do not ignore the words which are new for you. Check the meanings again and try to learn them. Write a paragraph daily and get it checked. Try to use newly learned words in it. Make your habit to read stories, novels, or quality books. Discuss things or new items with your friends and family members that will give confidence of taking a stand against any issue. Once you spend some time in this way, you can go through the past papers of the respective subjects. In the first step itself, if you take the question paper and if you do not know most of the questions, it will deject you. There is nothing to get dejected at this stage. If you complete your 1 or 2 compulsory subjects at the earlier level, it will be easy for you to crack the CSS exam in the first attempt itself. Wish you all the best. Many aspirants face difficulties in memorizing certain contents of different subjects like physics, history and geography, etc. While preparing for CSS exam, the contents may include the different dates and events taking place, may include the names of solar system, planets and etc. From physics, it may include different laws which are quite tough to memorize or keep in brain exactly as they are stated. The method which I used to learn them or even use now is Mnemonic method. It will be quite easy for aspirants if they will use Mnemonic method or way to learn such content. For instance, it is quite difficult to learn the names as well as the order of the planets from the sun. In this way, if we put it under mnemonic method and if we try to learn this statement, my very efficient mother just served us naan. The bold letters in the above statement represent the first letter of each planet respectively, and in this way if you people will learn the above statement, so it means you have learned all the planets and their orders from the sun. Similarly, in English, the 7 coordinating conjunctions are or, and, nor, but, or, yet. So, just remember the word fanboys. Now, I am going to make you memorize the whole of Islamic battles along with their due dates just in 5 minutes. Imagine a word abark, A-B-U-R-K, meaning a battle. When a battle is fought, we get injured, so we seek for treatment. If failed, we get maut or death. Now, using a Hindko word hun, meaning now, the dead bodies are placed in tabut. Focus over the sentence above. If you know how to count from 1 to 9, simply add Hijri to all. That are 1st Hijri, 2nd Hijri, 3 Hijri, 4 Hijri and 5 Hijri, 6 Hijri, 7 and 8 and hence 9. Now, Abark stands for A for Abwa, B for Badr, U for Ohad, R for Rajeh and K for Khandaq. Now it comes treatment time, that is Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Now treatment is failed and death is occurred, that is Mauta. Hun meaning now the body is placed in tabut. Simply do not forget to replacing T with K. All of them are in ascending order. Just put each from start till end with the numbers. It becomes 1st Hijri. The Battle of Abwa in 1st Hijri, Badr in 2nd, Ohad in 3rd, Rajeh in 4th, Khandaq in 5th, and Treaty of Hudaybiyah was made in 6th Hijri. War of Mota in 7 Hijri, Hunain in 8th, and Tabuk in 9 Hijri. If you want to go a step ahead, as migration occurred in 622 AD. So just remember by 2 Hijri that it means 624 AD. That is 2 years of migration. and by 3 Hijri they mean 625 AD, that is 3 years of migration, and so on. Hence, add concerned ADs to the above dates from Badr till Tabuk. It will become: First Battle of Badr was in 2 Hijri or 624 AD. Ohad in 3 Hijri or 625 AD. Rajeh war was fought in 4 Hijri, that is 626 AD. Khandak was fought in 5 Hijri or 627 AD, and the Treaty of Hudaybiyah was made in 6 Hijri, that means 628 AD. Mota was fought in 7 Hijri or 629 AD. Hunain was in 8 Hijri or 630 AD. Tabuk was in 9 Hijri or 631 AD. Aspirants, you can sketch small pictures also to remember many hard words or formulas, and I have given you the idea. Now work smartly to learn things. The environment in which you choose to study can have a dramatic impact on how successful your studying is. If you choose to study in a noisy coffee shop at a small table with the dim lighting, it may take you 2 hours to cover the same material you could read in an hour in the quiet of the library. That is an hour that you do not have to lose. However, for some people, the noisy coffee shop is the ideal environment. You need to determine what type of study environment works for you. Your goal is to find a comfortable, secure place that is free from distractions. The place should also be convenient and conform to your schedule. For example, the library might be ideal in many respects. However, if it takes you an hour to get there and it closes soon after you arrive, you are not maximizing your study time. For many people, studying at home is a good solution. Home is always open and you do not waste any time getting there. But it can have a drawback. If you are trying to fit studying in between family obligations, you might find that working from home offers too many opportunities for distractions. You have piled up children or younger siblings who need your attention, or television that captures your interest, are just some of things that might interfere with studying at home. Or maybe you have roommates who will draw your attention away from your study. Studying at home is a good solution if you have a room that you can work in alone and away from any distractions. If home is not a good environment for quiet study, the library, a reading room, or a coffee shop are places you can consider. Be sure to pick a place that is relatively quiet and which provides enough workplace for your needs. Everyone has his her own tolerance for noise. Some people need absolutely silence to concentrate, while others will be distracted without some sort of background noise. So know yourself. You will need to have enough light to read comfortably. Light that is too dim will strain your eyes and make you drowsy. Too bright and you will be uncomfortable and tense. Experts suggest that the best light for reading comes from behind and falls over your shoulder. Make sure your light sources falls on your book and does not shine in your eyes. Your study place should be comfortable and conducive to work. While your bed might be comfortable, studying in bed is probably more conducive to sleep than concentrated learning. You will need a comfortable chair that offers good back support and a work surface, a desk or a table that gives you enough space for your books and other supplies. When you have settled on a place to study, you will need to enlist the help of your family and friends, especially if you are working at home. Be sure that know that when you go to your room and close the door to study, you do want to be disturbed. If your friends all go to the same coffee shop where you plan to study, you will also need to ask them to respect your study plan. The cooperation of your family and friends will eliminate one of the greatest potential distractions. Finding the time in your busy schedule may seem like the greatest hurdle in making your aforementioned study plan, but you probably have more time available than you think. It just takes a little planning and some creativity. Make sure your schedule allows for adequate rest and study breaks. Skipping sleep is not a good way to find time in your schedule. Not only will you be tired when you study, you will be sleep deprived by the time of the test. A sleep-deprived test taker is more likely to make careless mistakes, lose energy and focus, and become stressed out by the testing environment. If you plan to do most of your studying in one block of time, say 4 hours, be sure you leave time to take a study break. Experts have shown that students are more likely to retain material if they take some time to digest it. A 5 or 10 minutes break to stretch your legs or eat a snack will revive you and give your brain time to absorb what you have learned. Most people need about 6 to 8 hours of sleep at night. Do not sacrifice sleep in order to make time to study. Hunger can be a distraction, so do not skip meals. Eat 3 nutritious meals a day and keep healthy snacks on hand during a long study session. The key word is healthy. Sugary snacks might make you feel energized in short term, but that sugar rush is followed by a crash that will leave you feeling depleted. Caffeine can have a similar effect. A little caffeine in a morning cup of a coffee, for example, can give you a boost, but too much caffeine will make you feel jittery and tense. Television can affect your abilities to concentrate. Being over-caffeinated, it is not the only potential source of tension. Pre-exam and anxiety can also get in the way of effective studying. You need to use study methods that go beyond rote memorization to genuine comprehension in order to be fully prepared for your test. Using study methods that suit your learning style will help you to really learn the material you need to know for the test. One of the most important learning strategies is to be an effective reader. Interact with what you are reading by asking questions, making notes, and marking passages instead of simply reading the words on the page. Choose methods of interacting with the text that match your dominant learning style. How to motivate oneself during this long preparation. Most people had asked me to write something on motivation. I do agree with a lot of people that motivation is that fire in the belly that you and only you can ignite. Having said that, we are often bogged down by insecurity. Your friend is in a cooperative sector, maybe earning millions in a bonus or having $1 million career all set. You are living at home or in the small city. Doubt does creep it that what if I do not make it? What will society, my friends, family, etc. think of me? Will I be able to handle the pressure that this, that and so many others negative thoughts keeping haunting you? Always have a positive set of friends around you, ones who challenges you to work hard. Test your knowledge, and when you get tired in the long marathon, also fetch water to keep you going. Family obviously is another pillar of sport. By now, you might have dreamed hundreds of times seeing yourself getting first rank in civil services exam. Imagining yourself giving speeches on TV, to magazines and newspapers, to yourself. You might have also realized yourself being treated as a celebrity in your home, village, city and in state. Have you noticed one thing? You usually dream about the big day in your life mostly after spending few hours productively preparing for this exam. Study well for 2 to 3 hours. You will soon start imagining yourself to be the future topper. Once you realize you are actually wasting time, you will be shaken and awoken to reality. You will again start reading, writing something. The dream evaporates. Daydreaming is mostly accompanied by spurts of productive hours in your exam preparation. If you are not studying well, your confidence level will be low and you will rarely think about getting a rank. The ambition level climbs down once you see yourself wasting time on doing things that does not take you anywhere. The less you study, lower will be your ambition level. For some people, clearing written will be a goal. For a few, reaching interview level and for a few, getting a rank will be the dream. It all depends on how well you are utilizing your time now. If you are dreaming about getting that top rank, you have everything in you to reach there. You just have to make sure that in coming days you dream less and work more. You dream less and work more. But blindly working would not take you anywhere. There are extremely hard working people every year who do not make it to the list. It's not about ability, it is about attitude. The more you are willing to learn and enjoy new things every day, the better will be your chance in succeeding in this exam. Many people stick to the old methods or resort to shortcuts. A day you spend on studies should be an improvement over the past day. For example, if you are writing 2 to 3 English answers daily, after few days you should be writing 4 to 5 answers within same time. Many people either give up writing after trying it for a few days or never start it, or worse. To top in this exam, you must use your strengths as well. Analyze in which area you are strong and weak. You can overcome your weaknesses by working on them, but you cannot easily make them your strength. Scoring good mark is not the thing you should be worrying most now. You should be worrying about being consistent in what you are doing. Take a break of 10 to 15 days, you will see your confidence level plummeting to low level. It's difficult to restore the momentum if you lose it once, but it's not difficult. In such cases, you should just stop worrying about backlog and focus entirely on future. The cost of not studying for 10 days is not much if you do not waste a single day in future. No topper will know for sure that he or she will top in the exam until the list is out. It will be a surprise. However, one can be sure of getting a rank in a desired range, like within top 20 or 30. This depends on your performance in written and interview, and also on your honest and objective introspection of your performance. If you are happy about it and have a gut feeling that you have done well in all areas, you might be surprised to see your name right at the top of the list. There are three main points that are very helpful to pass the CSS exam. The fear of failure or black future unpredictability in CSS exam preparation and of what people will say is the fear which makes you deliver minimum in CSS exam. Fear is the first hurdle in your way to perform well in examinations. Always believe in a beautiful hadith by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What has been written for you, if whole universe tries to take it away from you, will reach you, and what has not been written for you, if whole universe tries to give you that, it cannot reach you. This concept makes you fearless and allows you to perform to your utmost capabilities. That is one of the factors which helped one qualify CSS exam. The second main point is the general study. I do not discourage syllabus studies, rather I appreciate it, but along with it, general study, just like history, philosophy, politics and opinions, etc. General study is what makes you learn analytical abilities. It enhances your knowledge base and you get multifold sources to quote from. Always remember that well-read are the ones who perform better than others. This being well-read phenomena is beyond syllabus book. So please study general books in your leisure time. The third formula point to pass the CSS exam is the least outer influence. Do not listen to what others tell you. They may tell you it's CSS exam not made for you. You are not capable of doing it, and you lack knowledge, stamina, aptitude, background to do it. If I can do it, so can everyone in whole Pakistan with proper guidance and support. Also, do not rely upon or take influences from toppers of CSS exam. You may take tips, but relying completely on what they tell you is what will lead you astray. What they tell you about themselves may have worked very well for them, but you have your own journey, own map and a very own destination. So be yourself. You appeared and you failed. No problem. If things are clear to you, no problem if you know what failed you. And really no problem at all if you all determined to fight back and break the failure of jinx next time. I can tell you 5 hurdles that impede an aspirant's way to an illustration career in civil services of Pakistan. And how do I know them? I know them not because I have myself experienced failing the CSS exam. I passed it in my very first attempt. I know them simply because every year some of my students experience it. It's a fact, and let me openly confess that all those who hold my hands every year with a hope that I would help them sail across the CSS river do not succeed in crossing it, although a reasonable number of them certainly does it every year. Yet many of them remain standing on the same bank, seeing their fellows heading towards the destination of glory. And these are the unsuccessful ones who during the last 4 to 5 years have made me know all that I know about the hurdles which do not let candidates can cross the finish line. My purpose is to get you, the CSS aspirants, acquainted with at least 5 such impediments so that when you come across them during your rush towards the finish line, you are well prepared for their successful handling. Here are these. Lack of potential. Can everyone get through the CSS exam? I think the answer is big no. And it is as logical as to say that everyone cannot be a poet or an artist or an economist. There are certainly some innate qualities which, if a candidate does not possess, it would be impossible for him to pass the CSS exam. What are these qualities? Perhaps I would not be able to explain them at length. Yet some of these are creativity, spontaneity, perseverance, and ability to handle the pressure. These qualities mostly are God-gifted. So if you do not have the requisite potential, do not feel discouraged. But CSS is not your cup of tea. This may lead to success, but success is not limited only to this. CSS preparation consists of 3 phases: planning, preparation, and practice. Planning phase requires detailed research regarding what, from, where, and how much to be prepared. Preparation phase is vision and gathering of knowledge as per the plan, whereas the practice phase is to learn the utilization of the acquired knowledge while actually attempting the paper. And what you, the aspirants, do, you focus solely on the acquisition and gathering of knowledge. If absence of planning wastes your time, neglect of practice keeps you completely unable to answer even those questions regarding which you have sufficient knowledge in your memory. Thinking of passing CSS exam without proper planning and exhaustive practice is just like thinking of winning a war without soldiers, totally unfamiliar with the use of their weapon. Smart work is more result-oriented than hard work. You cannot pass CSS exam the way you are used to passing your academic exam. CSS exam is altogether different in nature. Most students who failed this exam have some things in common, and those are flagging energy and dampened enthusiasm. If everyone believes that he would pass the exam because he has joined some famous academy or coaching center, he is under some distress delusion. CSS preparation requires only energetic, enthusiastic, and impassionate approach. So dears, think well before setting CSS as the mission of your life. The goal is an achievable one. It is highly demanding too. Life blesses you only after it is sure that you deserve to be blessed. Suppose you are in a city totally aligned to you. How difficult it would be for you to find an address. Extremely difficult, right? Then, how on earth could you get through the CSS exam without proper guidance? Let me make it very clear that from proper guidance, I mean availability of some capable person who may continuously guide you and set your direction right, whenever you knowingly or unknowingly start deviation from the right path, the path that leads to the destination and the one that does not always look alike. It is merely consulting the doctor that cures your disease, or it is the use of the prescribed medicine that does the job. Definitely the use of a medicine. A majority of CSS candidates fail this exam only because they rely solely on tips and tricks. These guys think tips to be some sort of abracadabra that would make them pass the exam in a jiffy. Without any solid efforts on proper study, such candidates should come out of the illusions and must realize that there is no shortcut to success. Particularly for the destination they want to reach, only the straightest way is the shortest way. Tips can be helpful only in streamlining your efforts. Only for the destination they want to reach, only the straightest way is the shortest way. Tips can be helpful only in the streamlining your efforts. They can never substitute the actual efforts.